Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 2 will be on its way in just a couple of moments, but we're here to talk about game number 1, Bowie. What transpired there? What went wrong with the side of NoPing?
In terms of laning, I actually feel like they did pretty well. I know the actually Brax and Kim in that offlane looked pretty good. I'm pretty sure they got first blood on the Wraith King. The Dawnbreaker in general felt pretty strong throughout the game, but there were some calls that I think really hurt Brax game, like when they ganked Mandy the first time and they forced the Dawnbreaker OT, right? Which ended up in not only Mandy dying anyways, but then the Dawnbreaker. It feels like with most Mandy teams, they play this style where it's 4 protect 1, and some of the calls feel very forced or rushed to help him at the expense of everyone else. So I was not a big fan of some of the other calls, but it's not like Mandy played bad as like either. I think he had some pretty good TPs. That bottom tier 2 defense was great. Oh my Jesus Christ, my camera.
Earthquake.
Was pretty good. And the like his itemization was on point as well. But the draft was just really hard to play against. They had a lot of overwhelming push, and the Void was not the greatest last pick. Like, even though they, I mean, it was not even a last pick, right? Because they went Snapfire, Void as 16, 17 picks, I think, for them.
Yeah.
And it was Void Spirit last pick. So maybe that was the issue that they had. Just not enough damage to combat the Wraith King. So maybe with a better draft, maybe some more push themselves, anything that could allow them to also pressure the map, because they had 0 tower damage pretty much besides the Enchantress. I think Doyon did a really good job at forcing some early towers, but afterwards it felt like he was just dying. Like he had 15 deaths in a 40-minute game. Felt kind of weird game from NoPing overall.
Yeah, I think as well. They definitely did not feel in their element. Hopefully game 2 can be more the game that they're looking for. The draft is on its way, so we'll be jumping in immediately to see what heroes have been chosen. Yeah, you know, the thing is, it feels like MadKings, because they're such a hyper-aggressive team, they kind of counter NoPing in that regard. Because NoPing really likes to, you know, we talked about Mandy's hero pool, PA, TA, Terrorblade, you know, all heroes that just really want to farm until you're 25, 30 minutes. Dusa add in that one as well. And MadKings are not a lineup that gives you that time. They don't give you time to get all your farm and get your items and then be like, okay, we're 35 minutes in, let's go for a team fight clash. No, they're going to be hunting you every step of the way. They get the Tiny again. Probably going to be on Pablo because he played superbly. But looking at these bans, I do see an interesting one. That's MadKings banned out the Enigma themselves.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that. A pretty interesting decision, especially since they have first pick. So I'm sure Brax can play Enigma, but with the Beastmaster being open, I think most players would just gravitate towards the Beastmaster. It feels like a hero more people can play. Feels more straightforward, anyways. So they do grab that lane. Wouldn't be surprised to see the Snapfire being Kim's hero once again. And that looks like a pretty good combination in general. You know, has a lot of aggressive potential. I think it will look a little bit better than the Dawnbreaker just because it brings that push we were talking about before the game started. So I do like that, but he did ban the Void. That was the combo they wanted to execute with that Snapfire, and they get Marcy instead. Probably a 5. Always going to be able to enable Mandy's hero with the sidekick ability.
Yeah, it is also another hero that most teams tend to very quickly ban.
10 seconds.
Doesn't in the previous series, I don't think it got banned a single time either.
5 seconds.
Yeah, I don't think so.
So I guess SA doesn't really play it that much, but it is a stupidly strong hero regardless, probably as a 5 position in this case. They actually picked the Weaver on MadKing's side because I was already expecting NoPing to go for the Weaver themselves on Mandy. So I think this is a really good denial pick.
Yeah, and the thing about this is I don't feel like there's going to be a carry Weaver. I think it's going to be an RZT Weaver that they're going to lane with that Tiny. And I think Lelis played it in. I mean, it's actually SA that really started playing this before everyone else. Sacred on Thunder Awaken was the player that really started it all on the beginning of Tour 2 of the DPC. Then it kind of fell off, but I still feel like it's super strong. Just going Eggs, you're against this Beastmaster, Snapfire, lots of burst damage, and the Weaver can definitely work against that. You did ban Puck, so the silence, which is usually something that really deals with that, is already taken out of the equation. So love what they're doing here, and now they need to select their... I guess they can pick the carry. They know the lane they're going against.
Dire's turn to pick. Razor.
Okay, that is an interesting choice. The Razor pickup from MadKings. I guess looking more likely to be a safe lane. A nice Morphling pick because it's solid against the Razor. You just turn into him, take the static link, and turn it right up against your opponent. Though,
Yeah.
do you think Razor could also still be an
10
offlaner in this case? Obviously.
Against the Morphling, I think it becomes less desirable. But I also like the Morphling just because you can become the Weaver, right? You actually get the bugs for yourself. Just having Sukuchi, I mean, even becoming Tiny, like every hero there is actually really valuable for
Except for
Mandy
Enchantress,
to
that
play.
would be sad.
It is Radiant's.
Yeah, I guess. And I mean, the heal is pretty nice, but yeah, I agree. And they even bend the AA.
Impetus. Massive attack speed. Tons of those arrows flying through. Maybe.
Pretty
10
fun.
seconds.
And I mean, with Marcy, right? I guess that's really the powerful part about it, because usually Morphling struggles a little bit with sustaining lane, but even 1 point of sidekick just allows him to go full HP. It's 35% lifesteal level 1, I think, with the damage and the attack speed of Morphling. It's a really good combo. So I do like it, but I genuinely feel like Morphling is kind of a... I don't want to say dead hero, but like it only is good with a really good player, which Mandy definitely is. But it's not like a, you know, Bristleback carry or your Juggernauts. I think those heroes are really broken in this meta.
I think the biggest problem on Morphling is the change that they made to E-Blade. So there's only the physical damage Morphling, and well, the E-Blade was very popular for a reason. That was the main Morphling build, and it was really good. But it really did just like make it tough for the hero in general to really work. Because technically speaking, the hero is super strong. However, if you're in a situation where you get caught off guard, there's a chance you get one shot, obviously. But also, they can whittle you down for quite a while. If they get like any hero that goes a diffusal blade or something, at 1 point Morphling can be just a bunch of water flubbering about.
For sure. I also even considering if this Razor could be mid, because as you said, PL is open and it's really good versus both Beastmaster and Morphling. So if they do want to give Jackie Tokyo the Razor, you know, Razor mid not really that popular nowadays. Could be like a way to totally tilt Mandy if game 1 wasn't enough of a hard match for him. But more than likely, I think Razor still lanes very well versus the Beastmaster, and you get whatever you feel like it's necessary. I wouldn't even mind the Underlord again. I think would be pretty decent versus the Morphling.
Dire must choose.
Well, they are going to go Night Stalker, which is also good against the Morphling. Does mean that you're probably playing with the Weaver safe and a Razor mid in that case? Or is this a Razor safe Weaver for Tiny mid?
Would be Night Stalker mid even. I guess he
Don't
did
call
play
weird
a
stuff.
trap hero.
Seconds remain.
I mean, he played an off lane here in the mid lane last game, so I think that would be that would be on lore for Jackie Tokyo.
That would be nuts. I assume it's just gonna be the Tiny mid, and then Weaver for Razor safe, Night Stalker off lane. I think that's the more logical approach.
Yeah. Wait, you mean Weaver 4 with the Night Stalker off lane?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, mid Tiny is pretty decent versus Morphling as well.
Select
Wait,
your
what?
hero. Make the ultimate
Yeah,
choice.
probably Timber mid.
Yeah, Timber
Oh.
mid. Okay, and then
They're predicting the Night Stalker mid.
No, the tiny mid.
Oh, okay.
Both of them. Yeah.
Wow, yeah, that was a good pick.
Yeah. Okay. We saw in the previous series, Timber saw. I think it was Essex. No. Who was the?
Oh no, it was the second game of Dreamers versus
Lissex. I said Lessex and I meant Lissex. Lissex played the Timber saw on Dreamers and he played it like godlike.
Mhm.
10
Yeah, it was
seconds.
obviously against a carry Pudge, so this is gonna be a little bit different. But I do think mid Timbersaw is pretty decent. I like NoPing's draft much more. I think, still give Mendy this sort of I'm gonna carry the game sort of hero. But now Leo style, he has a much better game, right? Your Timber against 2 strength cores, whereas in that game he was a Void Spirit that couldn't really do enough damage. That's very promising. As long as they don't get punished too hard on this Beastmaster Snapfire lane, I can definitely feel like NoPing taking this to game 3. That's going to be the biggest issue. This slow from the Ench with the Razor Link, that could really be a problem. I don't think the Cookie is going to cut it for the Beastmaster, right? Usually a hero that doesn't even want to buy boots, now being chased by a very angry Razor and an Enchantress that is going to slow you down.
I do agree with you that I like NoPing's draft a lot more. I think it's just got everything you want. They pick up the Enchantress to kind of deal with a Beastmaster, I guess. But the problem is Beastmaster cares very little because he goes Wild Axes anyway. You're not going to steal any boars from him for the foreseeable future. And yeah, the slow plus Razor is pretty nice, but because of course he's going for the Wild Axes, most of the time he's going to stay away from the Razor anyway. So I think he should be able to survive. It's not going to be the perfect lane for him, but he should have a good enough time. And I think most of this game is going to rely again on Pablo and Jackie Tokyo connecting together on the Weaver Tiny. Weaver gets a quick Spirit Vessel. Tiny goes ham. And hopefully they can, for the side of MadKings, they can make that high aggression play happen again. Because it is definitely possible, but I really like NoPing's draft a lot more, with also the Beastmaster having the Hawk Vision, Timbersaw being able to defend every tower, which is a big problem that they could not do last game.
Yeah, they can also take towers themselves this time with this Morphling Beastmaster. It's a lot of push. Really easy for them to take Roche if they win a fight. But I think at the end of the day, it really boils down to this Night Stalker. If he has a good lane, he actually counters the Timbersaw. Like, you cannot counter the strength heroes as Timber if you cannot cast Whirling Death. And just having like Blink and Max Crippling Fear is really annoying. Like, it means that the Razor is gonna get like a full static link. And with the move speed of the Weaver, they'll place the Vessel on the Timber or on the Morphling, and they'll both just die like creeps. So we really have to keep tabs on how RZNT is gonna play, because game 1, I feel like he was very impactful with that Enigma. We'll see if he can keep it up playing the Night Stalker.
Well, 3 bounties for MadKings at the start, not too shabby. I just thought about the It's Morbin time meme when the Morphling came up. So, yeah, let's see if he can make that Morbin happening on... and he can even turn into the Night Stalker, double Morbin time. So that's going to be the ultimate meme here. Don't think he's going to change into him a single time, but hopefully we might get to see some shenanigans. Duna in the lane up against Pablo, but already throw down the Sentry Ward, which Pablo immediately will be able to counter ward.
There you go, Pablo. Already struggling a little bit here. The nerf on Sukuchi definitely making this Weaver support a little bit less impactful.
And mid, yeah, Tiny. I mean, it's a big strength hero. Does at least have some last hit potential with the tree, but he definitely has a couple of moments in this lane where he has to be very careful of Leosal just running him down, who has a decent amount of last hits so far against his opponent. And the biggest fear is, of course, Timbersaw getting fast level 6.
Yeah, Definitely. That's really the big problem. They're gonna have to find a hero that can lane mid once the Timber is 6. Maybe if this enchant gets a couple points of the heal, RM could be the just dragging creeps and healing and making sure that the Timber just doesn't solo kill you. Because I don't feel like Jackie Tokyo is gonna be able to stand here. It just becomes way too much of a problem.
He'll just have to toss away Leostyle every single time, I think, is the most important factor. Every time Leostyle gets a little bit too close and personal, Jackie Tokyo toss him up, Avalanche, Leostyle takes some damage, but level 2 reactive armor means he already out heals all the damage you pretty much deal to him, because that's just how the hero works. Top lane, Mandy dropping very low, but won't falter just yet. And no first blood's secured. Oh, actually, RM went for the impetus arrow with the enchant in the beginning, so heavy duty damage coming in that bottom lane.
Yeah, they just want to make sure that Brax has a terrible time. He did go for the build you talked about, and he already used the TP on the Beastmaster to run away, so Brax has to be extra careful here, because if they do get the link, then it's much harder for him to survive this time.
RZT and Pablo top lane being bullied back right now. There's another sentry place. Pablo needs to counter toward that new sentry, which is trying to get done. However, he doesn't have Shikuchi available, and he is probably... nope, he is going to get first blooded.
You've just
by
achieved
Duna,
first blood.
who of course
Thanks
has a
and
bit
have fun.
of his revenge after the last game, going in onto Arzent. There's that sidekick that you were talking about. Mandy healing up pretty nicely. RZT going to get away. Toss back. Duna will be able to yeet him to the side. Actually, RZT is a little bit too tanky with the double bracer, and Duna is gonna die. How does he not die there?
It's the attack speed's low void. It's so annoying. It's like minus what? Minus 50. So first it was that attack speed's low, and then the second attack he went for actually got damage blocked. Oh my lord.
Thanks for playing
What?
Dota 2. Double kill.
That
Woo,
right there is
that's-
worthy of a tip, 100%.
Oh lord. Dunyao gotta be careful here. If he dies, that's... Oh my god.
What have we here?
That is a Hard Knocks life.
Yeah,
That's a classic Morphling death. As classic as could be. Not paying attention for half a second. In comes a random damage instance, and boom, done.
380 HP. That definitely bound to happen. They do find... Yeah, there you go. They get the revenge.
He will die. So, you know, he's happy that he at least comes back with full HP, full mana, because he was pretty much out of mana the entire time. Mid lane, the SL is starting to edge ahead against Jackie Tokyo, who does not really mind getting, you know, a bit of damage going against him with that bottle. So that chakram is especially going to be the moment where Jackie has to be terrifyingly careful.
That's probably the last wave. He can actually stay here. They do find Brax again, and he just TP'd. So this is going to be a really sad trip back to the lane for him. At least he did buy boots, but it also means his timings are going to be delayed a little bit. And mid lane, they send Pablo, but I don't think that's enough to really stop Leostyle.
Armor reduction is pretty nice. but
Oh,
yeah,
no.
He's got himself the chakram. Ava, Jackie with the toss. Leostyle, RM comes in as well for good measure. Impetus is pure damage. Leostyle dropping low. Is he gonna die? Can he get the another impetus? Leostyle! Whoa! So close, but it's a timber sign. He refuses to die.
I mean, even with all of that, that's still a 2k golded for MadKings, which is kind of crazy, really. A lot of it is coming from Brax just struggling this game, and probably the Mandy death at the beginning. But yeah, Leostyle, he has to enable his teammates a lot, which he's already doing, because this is going to be a game where this Tiny, he has to get some really good rotations, because he won't have a free lane to just farm his blink. As you can see, he has the blades, the phase boots queued up, but I actually just want him to go blink dagger. I don't feel like the phase boots is gonna do much.
Okay, RM will be caught out by Kim. Yeah, it's tough game. Brax is going to get chased down by Pablo. He's got the bug on him as well. So the minus armor, the vision gain, and the Pablo. The Pablo is a really capable player so far, as I've seen. Jackie's still not level 6. And the DSL is currently level 7.
I'm surprised he's even here right now. Oh, they got another kill.
Yeah, they're losing 2 of their lanes. Well, top is not really being lost. It's nice and even. Bottom is just being destroyed. Jackie is behind in terms of XP, but his farm is actually not that bad. He's only about 100 gold behind Leostyle.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't die, so he's just trying to sap as much experience as he can. At the end of the day, Leostyle is going to take a long time to get this tower, so even though he loses mid, that's why Timber is balanced. He doesn't really take your tower like other heroes would, like Alina. But you got to be careful, man. Another...
Jackie's cutting
so
all the
scary.
trees as well. He's just making sure he can't get a good Timber chain off.
I actually really like the way... I'm surprised he's actually here for that long. Oh, Kim is coming, though. Gotta be careful.
Jackie needs
He's
help.
dead.
Yep. No way that Jackie should be able to... I'm saying no way. No, there's no TPs. Leostyle doesn't
dead.
have mana. Now he does have the Soul Ring, and he can get the shotgun going. RSNT TPs through. The problem is he comes in a little bit too late, and the bugs won't connect onto Leostyle, so no minus armor, and he's just healing up with 24 reactive armor stacks. He does not have a problem in the world. Leostyle is literally their ace and O. Luckily, Mandy is now being completely ignored in the top lane because they just sent their their off-lane duo to mid to try and help out. But yeah, help him when he's alive, not when he's dead.
It's pretty unfortunate, actually, because he was doing a good job, but he had no lane ward to scout the Snapfire coming. They have that ward. Actually, just got warded on the right cliff of the Dire side. But maybe if the Night Stalker was there, he would have vision of the Snapfire coming much earlier because he has the superior night vision, which is why I really felt like they had to solve this problem of who can defend mid. I think probably better for RSNT to do it, but he does walk top again. They just want to try and force this tower.
It should be a straightforward tier 1 tower push RM with the Wildwing Ripper. It's not as good of a pushing power as they had last game, not even close. Tiny, of course, is going to go for more of a magic damage build. Bottom lane, Duna needs to be careful because he's going to get slowed. No rebound available, and that means that the Marcy is an easy target. Pablo gets that kill. That's some extra earned charges. Spirit Vessel is still on its en route, but Jackie Tokyo needs to get that blink at a good timing. Like, that is going to be essential to try and make plays for their team.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, what's up with the name Pablo, right? Because the European Pablo is also such a good position for. Like, you just need to have the Pablo name, and then you get good. Oh, Timber dies for the mid tower, but I'm pretty sure that's worth it. Also, they use the Dark Ascension for that. I don't think this is enough. Like, sure, you kill him, but you lost your tower. That's a huge blow on the economy. If they can get mid, though, it's better for sure.
Yeah, they're looking to take it, and I don't think they can defend it at all. And yeah, easy tower push. RM's got himself the Skeletal Army with the Dark Troll Summoner. So, you know, added extra 18 damage to all of the creeps around it, and the heroes, that's pretty much double damage on the lane creeps.
What I'll say is this, you know, regardless of, you know, skill or who, like, has better players, I'm really impressed by MadKings and their reads in the games. Like, there's some decisions that they make that are always, like, really good. Once a fight happens, once something happens, even if it looks bad, they find a way to turn it into, like, less bad or even good sometimes. And that's something I felt like NoPing kind of lacks a little bit. They have, like, really good and accomplished players, but it feels like they struggle to translate the, like, how accomplished they are into actual, like, game-winning decisions a lot of the times. And, you know, with all of these sort of new players, they are able to make really good decisions on MadKings, and that's why they're taking games out of teams that you wouldn't expect if you don't follow South America that much.
Yeah, I think most of it is because their position 5 is, of course, used to be a coach, the coach of Beast Coast specifically, when Beast Coast was, you know, the big threat team.
Yep.
So definitely interesting to see how they can handle this. Red Monster will be taken down though. RZT on the run, doesn't have his ulti, so he's not the fastest in the world and will be chopped up. Also, Mandy turned into that Weaver, as you mentioned, got the bugs off on his opponent, and they managed to get a double kill. But yeah, that's one of the things from MadKings that I really, enjoy. And I would really like to listen to an interview with Red Monster about it, like how their dynamic works in the team, because I am very interested. And you can really see, on paper, NoPing's players are better, but MadKings are just playing it as an actual team, and I think that's just the hand of Red Monster behind it.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think for a long time, the teams in South America that would win, qualify to events and all that. Oh, RZT, that ward definitely spotted you, my friend. They do have ulti though, so can he survive?
Well, they're trying to chase. Andy though takes damage. Waveform back, snaps it. They interrupted immediately. You're playing against a Night Stalker. Void is not the longest cooldown, and Mandy, can he get away? He's still being chased. Swapped everything towards strength, but Mandy is dead. That's a big kill rotation. RZT going in towards Kim. Too close for comfort, and that means Kim is just gonna okay, he's not gonna completely dive in for the kill. They do manage to get a lot done there with the Mandy kill being secured. I think he would regardless still die, but Waveform TPing against the Night Stalker next to you, it seems to be a little bit of a risky endeavor.
Yeah, but I really feel like the problem was they read that situation poorly. They knew that the Night Stalker was there, but they didn't commit the kisses straight away to kill him. So he survives, casts the ulti, and that was enough time for the other heroes of MadKings to show up since it was close to tier 1. Top though, Dunyan, okay, does survive. But overall, a pretty even game, all things considered. The Leo style Timber still feeling pretty impactful. They are giving Brax a little bit of time to recover. So even though they do lose Mandy, Brax is, briefing a little bit, finishes the Helm, now going towards the Helm of the Overlord. This Beastmaster here is broken. I feel like he is conceptually much stronger than Night Stalker. So if they can hold this game for longer, I definitely feel like NoPing has the late game this time with the lineup. Beastmaster Morphling is just on another level of scaling.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
I
attack.
think it's pretty solid.
Haste.
I do think that the Razor having a BKB might be problematic, but also MadKings' entire Brax is about to die. MadKings' entire game plan is just early, fast, and quick. That's kind of how they build all of their drafts. The previous game, it's kind of weird because you don't think Underlord is a fast-paced hero. I never would have even thought of that, but it actually conceptually is very strong if your enemy doesn't have stupid amounts of damage.
Yeah, an Underlord that has a good lane is a super early-centric sort of hero. And when you get it mid, and not only you play mid, but you crush the enemy mid hero, as he did game 1, it looks amazing. This time, not as easy of a game for Jackie Tokyo, so we're definitely testing how good of a player he is. Did finish the Blink, pretty much the timing that Pablo got his Blink Dagger as a support in game 1. But I think that's not a fair comparison, all things considered. If they find Mandy though...
Well, Mandy being chased down, the bugs connect. Mandy, can he find a turn? He's looking to change into the Weaver and Shikuchi himself away. And that's a nice move, Leostyle. Look at toss back. Leostyle actually does a lot of damage, but can he survive all the damage is the big question. No, he cannot. They will find the kill on Leostyle. Duna in the meantime finds Red Monster TPing it, coming through, and there's the toss back. In trouble is Kim. Shotgun Blast ain't gonna save your soul this time around, buddy. And they will find a double. They do have an okay-ish roast team, but not the greatest. The only thing that's a big plus for them is the Swarm.
Yeah. Once Pablo gets a couple of extra levels there, I'm pretty sure it's a possibility for them. They can also tank with the Enchantress. That's a big plus. But one thing that's kind of weird is that they had both Mandy and Leostyle at the top lane. They're just farming with 2 heroes again instead of using the early power spike of that Timber with Brax bottom. Well, they do send Leostyle bottom now, but Mandy's being chased.
No. Mandy. Instant silence, he can't respond. They will find Red Monster. But again, you know, he's playing the Duna game. Dying for his teammates. Exactly how he needs to run it. Arsent on the run. There's going to be Brax caught out. Doesn't have a roll available. Brax is dead. Shikuchi to the side. Leosel static linked. He needs to run away because you're giving all that damage to Adrian, who does not really fear anything because he's got a BKB regardless, and they find Duna to boot. Right now, it is back to MadKings stomping grounds, crushing the entire map control.
Yeah, and I mean, we were talking about, you know, how good of a game Andy was going to have with the drawings that he's making right now. Doesn't feel like he's happy with this state of the game. And, I mean, I kind of don't blame him. I feel like when, like, if they were making more pressure from NoPing, it wouldn't be as easy for MadKings to just connect those smokes as they did. Like, they found him in the big jungle the first time and now the Ancients, because there's really no pressure being applied. The Timbersaw is not showing bottom. The Beastmaster is not like shoving the wave either. So this just allows MadKings to play. And it feels very similar to Game 1 in that sense where NoPing, they are not making any moves. Like sure, Mandy likes to farm, but the other two cores are definitely in a position where they could be posturing a little bit more. So it just becomes hard for Mandy to farm if no one's doing anything.
Yeah, Mandy needs a BKB desperately against the Night Stalker. That crippling fear, blink crippling fear. As you can see in mid, Leostal, he's also in a lot of trouble at the moment. Spirit Vessel's on him. He just dies. Adrian gets the static link going, brings out the heavy amounts of damage. He's got minus armor from Eye of the Storm. Then they've got minus armor from the Weaver Swarm. Then they got the Spirit Vessel on top. That is so much that you have to deal with, which is actually... Like, this Timbersaw is not nearly as tanky as we initially expected.
Yeah, I mean, he started really well, and he went for Kai instead of Sanj, and I feel like he died. Oh my lord, look at the drawings, dude. This is a terrible sign. I'm pretty sure if he had Sanj, some of those engagements wouldn't look as bad. Like, I feel like his goal this game was to be like this guy in the bottom side of the map just cutting waves, making sure tier 2 tower was being hit at all times. And because he had Sanj, it would be really hard for them to kill him. And if they do, that would buy enough time for NoPing to connect with the other heroes. Instead, he wanted to play this like, I'm gonna kill heroes sort of style. But the supports are not really following him. They're like playing around Mandy. So it feels really weird for NoPing. Like, it feels like they're all over the place.
Pablo broke the smoke top. Shikuchi, hello, gets dusted. Guys, that's like the slowest reaction I've seen in a long time.
That was, yep.
Okay, jump on Brax. Can he get the roar off? They tried to cookie him out of range. Turns around, gets the roar in, but the Force Staff sends Arsen to the side, trying to keep him alive. He's just going to get bursted down because Leosal still brings a lot of damage. Mandy turning into the Razor, trying to chase after Pablo, who does have a Shikuchi available, but the time lapse is going to get him out of harm's way. Oh, they're all trying to chase him down. He loses the courier, though. Leostal won't be able, or will he? Pablo dropping low, but Jackie Tokyo with the saving avalanche. Pablo will be able to get away. So this time, Argentine went a little bit too wild on towards the enemy's high ground. I found it just very weird, you know, the smoke, the dust reaction, especially because Pablo, like, they saw him literally stand in front of them, and okay, they got spooked, I guess, but that was, you can definitely see NoPing are struggling right now in terms of like their response timers and everything, and also the drawings on the map tell you a big story.
Yeah, they definitely do. It was a really good smoke breaking from the Weaver. I mean, I'm not even sure they kill the Weaver if they like smoke roar him instantly, because that's not really the target they want to kill at the beginning. But I actually liked, what I liked from NoPing is that they fought well together this time. They all, like, the fight was starting to split up a little bit, and they all chased Pablo towards their side of the map instead of like, oh, I'm gonna kill this guy and I'm gonna kill this guy. So to me, that's like, at least brings a little bit of confidence towards me. You were talking about the fact that Mandy needs a BKB. I totally agree. I think this could have been even like a Yasha BKB sort of game instead of the Manta. I understand that, you know, you don't want to use BKB to dispel Vessel, but I also feel like this just slows them even further into this state that is not aggressive at all. But, you know, not that big of a deal. Like a 4K goal lead at 21 minutes. It's not terrible. I still feel like this Beastmaster Morphling scale a lot, especially when you're Morphling playing to this Weaver, playing to this Razor. So he's gonna feel good if he gets to that BKB.
And Pablo, he's going for the Aghanim Scepter, which of course is the old classic Weaver support build, but they did nerf it, so time lapse is gonna stay to 40 seconds cooldown instead of the, what was it, 20 or 16 or some BS.
15, I think. Yeah, it was crazy. And the cast range was like 1,000 at the beginning. Oh, Mandy, goodbye.
Oh, did Mandy? Oh my god. I didn't even look there anymore because I thought Mandy already got out. I thought he...
Yeah, he felt like he got out as well. He never even used attribute shift. So.
Yeah, that's a nice stalker for you. BKB is still a little bit away from Mandy. More drawings coming out. Let's see. Okay, these are... Actually, I think they're from the Night Stalker. That could be Beastmaster. It's really hard considering they're both blue.
Yeah, he's just looking for anyone trying to cut waves, which NoPing. They're not really interested at right now. They're just defending this tier 2 tower. Just a solid decision, I think. They don't want to give up the outpost, the ability to defend Roshan. But yeah, I mean, Mandy, and you know, this is why. This is one of the many reasons I think this Morphling hero isn't nearly picked as much as he used to. Like, sure, the E-Blade is a part of it, but like the hero just feels very easily counterable a lot of times. You know, maybe it's a good 24th pick, but this time it was not a 24th pick. It was a 23rd, and then Night Stalker was...
Sneak Roche.
I like this, but it is scouted.
Oh, that is scanned immediately. Oh no, they're right
so
there.
Fast, though. Jesus Christ, they're fast.
Yeah, that is the Morphling power. They get vision inside the pit. Shikuchi and Pablo will immediately die.
Oh.
Roche will get taken down with Mandy picking it up. That is a big play coming out from NoPing. They scanned it on MadKings, but yeah, you mentioned it. Their push is incredibly fast with the Morphling getting the buff, the sidekick buff.
Mandy, gotta be careful here.
No!
Oh!
Good Aegis, good Aegis. Nice Roche shenanigans coming in. Yep, Mandy.
Dude, look at the sentry there. The sentry was like, like exactly one range away from where the Tiny initiated. Oh, that's so painful because he probably felt he was safe because of that sentry, but he came from the other angle. Oh, they can't catch a break on NoPing, dude. Jesus.
Yeah, that is they're gonna smoke out immediately. Yep, great call coming out from MadKings. They know they're probably still playing like they feel they have Aegis, and of course we obviously know that's not the case. There's going to be jump in the silence AoE. They don't have BKBs on anyone available. Brax controlled. Can he get the roar off? No, he cannot. He's dead. Mandy needs to disengage. There's a 4-man chase on him. Will be able to get away, and the rest of the team trying to TP out. Kim should be chased down by Pablo. Interrupt as well. Kim dies. On the side, Diesel's being chased down by Jackie Tokyo. He's going to go for the TP. We'll be able to get the TP to safety, luckily enough. But yeah, MadKings are just... They're really good. Like, they're actually really good.
They are. I'm like very impressed with a lot of the movements that they do. They very rarely... Oh my lord. Here we go again. This Tiny, man.
Yeah, Jack Tokyo coming in. Duna Marcy dropping low. He's dead. Yostal does have a timber chain to get away. Chakram in return. Pablo is just chilling. They get the toss back, and that's another kill onto Leostal. They fall back, get the tier 2 tower mid, and they are just tearing apart. The net worth advantage is not much. It's only 5k after 25 minutes, but this team is 100% like the counter to NoPing, because that is a team that has the tendency to tilt, and MadKings play like they know how to tilt a team.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I think like the way they play is just for Division 2 team, they are by far. I'm gonna say it. I think they are by far the best macro team in Division 2. Like the way they play, like sure they might not play the lanes the best way. Sometimes they might, like, you know, the Tiny dying mid, even though he was against a bad matchup. So some of the decisions that they make in terms of laning might not be the greatest. But they really know how to play the map. It's crazy. And I mean, that's definitely the RM effect you were talking about with the ex-Bisco's coach. They rarely waste time on the map, and once they see a mistake, or just like the BKB on Mandy being used, they dive the fountain. I mean, they dive tier 4s, knowing that there's not going to be an advantageous fight able to be taken by NoPing. So, just very impressed. It's not like NoPing is playing bad. That Roche move was really good. They just... I don't even... it has to be unluckiness. I don't feel like Mandy was out of position there. It's just super unlucky with the sentry position.
Maybe a bit more strength in that scenario. Don't play full agi when you're on the enemy side of the river. I think that might, still be a little bit of point. Mandy, static link onto Mandy. Mandy running away. He's going to get chased down by Adrian. Mandy's going to be taken out of the fight pretty much. All the rest of the team is going to be hunted in the meantime. Brax gets the roar off onto RZT, but he's got the BKB turned on.
Lord.
And they're all just...
Mandy dies.
Mandy still gets caught somehow, and the avalanche toss from Jackie coming in. Leostyle is going to be his target while his team takes care of Kim, who's trying to play the distraction. Jackie will not be able to find Leostyle. And Kim will get the TP to safety as well. But yeah, I just left the Morphling fight for a bit because there were so many things going on. Anything specific about that?
Yeah, what happened is, first of all, this Razor build is very good this game. Usually 95% of the times you're going to see Razors just going Refresher, right? He went Scotty. So the Morphling was deciding whether he wanted to like stay in the fight or not. And he just stood a little bit too long, and against the minus armor of the Razor OT and the Scotty, he couldn't actually BKB and TP away, which usually is like, against one hero you can always get it off. He just died. And now Adrian is a god amongst men. And I just struggle to see how NoPing is going to recover. I think they have the late game, but this is getting to a place where they just feel totally lost.
Every single fight that starts, they have countered Mandy. Every single time the fight starts, Mandy is out of it immediately. Razor static links him, or he takes so much damage, or Weave gets his Spirit Vessel.
Straight up. Yeah.
He's just constantly countered, and that is the... Oh, there's a ceremonial rope to be picked up. But it is the most horrid way to play, unfortunately, because he's the one that's supposed to deal the damage. You've got Leostyle, of course, who had a great mid lane and stuff, but that hero does have a tendency to fall off significantly in the late portions of the game.
Definitely, and I feel like, going back, I don't want to sound like a broken record, which I often do, but because it's always MadKings starting the fights instead of NoPing, that happens. If NoPing were postured as 5, and, it's the Timber that gets initiated, or it's Brax that gets initiated, then Mandy has the choice of doing something about it. But as you can see, whenever NoPing groups up, Mandy is not there, and whenever he's split up, he gets initiated.
Oh, yeah, again, he's forced to TP out immediately. The rest of the fight is over. They need to disengage. They can't go for this fight because Mandy is not with the rest of the team. You hit the nail on the head. Brax will be a second one down. You're playing against a Night Stalker. The guy has a vision of an absolute god. He sees everything. He sees when you go to bed. He sees you when you're eating. He knows when you're awake. He knows when you've been... I'm not gonna continue with the entire rhyme of Santa Claus, but he knows everything. If he comes down your chimney,
I usually don't compare Night Stalker to Santa Claus, but you made some good arguments there, I think. That's a scary present he's giving you.
Yeah, if you can see him come through your chimney, don't try and give him some cookies and milk.
I mean, maybe that's the only way he doesn't kill you, but this game feels hopeless for NoPing. Like I can see their draft functioning really well. Like you have Morphling being enabled by Beastmaster and the Marcy. So if he just pops BKB when the fight starts, I feel like the Razor can't even stand to the Morphling right clicks. But they're never S5. It's like Mandy feels like he needs to catch up, but then he gets initiated, or his team gets initiated, and it feels like they never are in a point where they feel like they're strong, which, you know, might just come out of tilt, might just come out of the fact that they don't understand this draft as well as I thought they understood. No, the Roche play was probably the only time it felt like NoPing knew what they were doing.
Courier snipe. And that is the Scotty delayed for another 3 minutes.
Oh my. Jesus Christ.
How to tilt Mandy 101.
Oh my god. I have no words, dude. Tiny. Jackie Tokyo is a beast. I mean, he had such a bad laning stage, and he's feeling very impactful for how the series.
Yeah, he's currently ahead of Leostyle. Laning stage, I mean, his laning stage was bad experience-wise, but he still got about the same net worth as the Timbersaw, which is very impressive. For obvious reasons, because the Timbersaw should be able to dumpster that lane. But Leostyle, you know, he's getting to the point where he just doesn't do. He's going for Ags, which I think is a great tool, but the hero is just so incredibly weak. It does nothing against the Razor, because he just runs right through everything and everyone. At the moment, Pablo also has the Aghanim Scepter now done on the Weaver, so he's got the big fat save if you finally get a good jump. And the Roar use on Adrian, and you might finally burst him down. He just time-lapses his teammate, and boom, back to full HP. You're in trouble.
And now, they're gonna smoke without that Scotty. Mandy even buys the Tome, dude. He bought the Tome. That's not a good sign, but that's the best chance NoPing had in a while. So let's see if they can do this.
Adrian's the target. But there is the time lapse. Roar gets thrown. Back to full is Adrian coming in. Brax is dead already. And the rest of the team needs to be careful. Mandy is right-click fighting up against Adrian. Goes up the high ground. Will he get the TP away? Yes, Mandy should be able to disengage. Isaac is actually in a bit of trouble. This Leostyle does have some damage when no one is focusing down the Timbersaw. However, once Adrian joins the fray, that Timbersaw is gonna have to try and disengage. Look at the big fat Jackie Tokyo damage as well. Throwing trees upon trees. And it is gonna be an Adrian double kill coming through for the side of MadKings. Absolutely tearing apart NoPing, and the only one that got away was Mandy.
Yep, that was great bait. They just show up the Razor. He's tanky as all hell. The Weaver was, I mean, so easy for Weaver to be in position. MadKings, dude, I just gotta say, they are playing really well. There are for sure a lot of problems with this NoPing lineup right now. Okay, wait, there's still a fight.
Bit of a mistake in the toss. They're trying to get some damage in. RM gets okay, time lapse has been used on RM. Mandy needs to wait for him back. He's gonna get chased in the meantime. Actually, a nice toss back onto Jackie Tokyo, who gets swung left and right, bouncing all over the place. However, not going to be anywhere close to dying. Look at the damage on Kim. Oh my god, in comes the Hurricane Pipe Blaze from the Enchantress. Yeet, 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 yeet. Kim is dead. And Brax with the Roar onto Adrian. Time lapse is 9 seconds away. Mandy's going to go in for RM, who does get taken down. Adrian's BKB has just ended. And he's going to try and turn this one around because Brax has nothing to save his soul. However, with Leostyle coming back, they are a little bit spooked. They did buy back on RM, but they're probably just going to grab double damage, walk into Roche, and get themselves an Aegis plus shard on the side of the MadKings, and mad they indeed are.
Yeah, it just... They never really get a fight on their own terms, which speaks a lot to the vision that MadKings has been placing this whole game, the way that they position their heroes, and the fact that they're willing to make moves at all times. NoPing, they just felt scared the whole time. They, you know, from the drawings in the minimap, you could see that they were not in their comfort zone. MadKings, I just want to praise them because you know, it's easy to just like blame players on the team that is losing, but I really feel like they just gave a master class on how to play Dota, and these guys are Division 2. I'm not sure if they're gonna be able to grind to Division 1 because Ravens and Dreamers are looking really good. But I'm pretty sure these guys are going to at least stay in Division 2 in style, because every match that I watch from them, they look awesome.
Yeah, they're a very impressive team, and you rightfully, you know, called it out as probably the best macro team out there in Division 2. Ravens will, of course, you know, Ravens are just the best team, but that's because they have a godlike players amongst them, especially Dad. Looks to be a beast.
Ooh!
Tree toss comes in. The Estelle almost gets crit down. Oh, that was by a ton of luck that the Timbersaw did not get cracked. However, they're just going to get themselves the set of racks, it seems, because Adrian's got that Aegis still. Getting the refresher orb soon enough. And the jump comes in. Pablo. Actually, the roar comes out onto RZT. Pablo finds the time-lapse target, and that is going to be RZT going back in. Adrian will lose the first life. But can they get that second life as well? Mandy, however, the problem is he doesn't have a BKB available. He went for an MKB, actually. Is going to get hit by the impetus arrows. Can he get away? The leads from miles away, and that's going to be a triple kill for RZT. They lost a total of no one on the side of MadKings. The GG gets called. And SA Division 2 continues on with 2-0, 2-0, 2-0 all the way through.
Wow. I mean, just pretty impressive by MadKings. I don't feel like the drafts on the side of NoPing are really to blame the situation here. I feel like this was definitely a draft. Both games were drafts where they could have won. The game 1 a little bit less than game 2, but still, like, it's not like their drafts were bad by any means. I just feel like NoPing, they just gotta work on their team chemistry. Like, it's not like they're playing poorly. They're just not playing as a team. And, you know, Dota, surprise, surprise, is a team game of 5 players. And, you know, if you have a plan and you just execute it, it's just going to be much better than 5 better players doing their own thing.
Yeah, that was a really solid performance from MadKings. I think Pablo, especially first game on the Tiny, second game on the Weaver, so nasty to deal with. But in general, like, it was a full team effort coming in from them. And that is what was beautiful, because you did also mention one crucial, you know, there was one play that NoPing did that was actually very good. And that was the Roche steal. That one was very nicely timed and very quickly executed. But that was like the only moment where you saw them actually play as a team. Because this looked like they were just everyone trying to play their own game. Of course, they're playing with a sub and whatnot. But, you know, they're very talented players. But they definitely need to do a lot more to be able to deal with a solid team.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's weird, right? Because it's one of those things where you just look at the players and it's really hard not to give NoPing the advantage. But it's just, I don't even feel like the standing excuses that much, because like this is like Breck's third game with them, right? I think they played against Curitiba, and then before that they definitely played another game with Brex. But yeah, they're not playing as a team, and it shows. So MadKings, they deserve this win by far. I think they played really, really well. And I wouldn't be surprised to see them at least try to fight for the second place towards Division 1. It's going to be a really hard battle because Ravens, I think they already beat even MadKings, I'm pretty sure. But I'm not sure if Ravens played Dreamers, which would be the 2 teams I think are fighting alongside Curitiba for that slot.
Ravens have to play against Curitiba, and Ravens have to play against, let's see, NoPing, which not really that important, and they have to play against MadKings. That's the very scary one.
They didn't play MadKings.
They didn't play MadKings yet. So MadKings, they still have to play against Balrogs, but Balrogs are 1 and 4. Ravens, then they have to play against South Team as well. So it is definitely looking rough in terms of their chances, because now they're 2 and 2. But currently Curitiba is 3 and 1. Dreamers is, I think, 4 and 1, if I'm not mistaken, right now, after the win today. So, you know, you kind of are at the stage where you need to win every single match from this point on if you're MadKings, if you want to try and make it towards Division 1. I definitely think there's a chance, because, of course, Dreamers, they still have to play against Curitiba, so one of those 2 is at least going to lose. But you're going to have a little bit of luck on your side as well to make it to that stage. But regardless, you know, MadKings, I'm really impressed with both the qualifier teams. But they have been impeccable this season.
Yeah, that's my point. Like, obviously, I'm being a little bit fanboyish right now, but a lot of these teams that joined through open qualifiers, they never really look super solid. Sometimes they just got relegated as they joined, anyways. But they definitely feel like a team that is at least going to maintain their status as a Div2 team. And maybe grind even more. I think that was the case for Ravens and Dreamers. I think they started, they didn't really go to Division 1, but now they're looking really good after playing, one tour. Wouldn't be surprised to see MadKings, if they don't go to Div 1 this time, actually being a contender next tour. Well, I'm not sure if we're going to have a DPC after this one, but we'll probably have a different one, but still like a DPC sort of form.
I assume we'll just have a continuation of the DPC league after the TI. But yeah, regardless, NoPing, they keep falling further and further down. They're now 1-4 tied with Balrogs and Gorilla's Pride. So, and of course, they still have to play against the Ravens. Ouch. But also against Gorilla's Pride. So there is still a chance that they might be able to, survive. However, the chances for that are starting to become slim for the what would originally be one of the superstar teams of Division 2. But they have definitely fallen, unfortunately for them. Nonetheless, some other teams have to rise for that. And indeed, it's looking pretty spicy in Division 2 with all these absolute, that's the beauty of this, is that every game is very interesting to watch. I really am enjoying Division 2, SA, Division 1 obviously as well, but there's so many talented players and teams, and every season you always get something fun that you can look forward to. In this case, you've got the off-lane Hermit from South Team. You've got MadKings with their, wild drafts that are just constant aggression against any team that they play against. It is superb and it is magnificent. But unfortunately, to all good things there comes an end, and that means today's broadcast will be done. There is no Wolf team playing tonight. They all had COVID, and that would mean that unfortunately we have to say our goodbyes. Bowie, thank you very much for joining me. Are there any closing words you have for the viewers at home?
Not really. Yeah, it was a pleasure being here. Unfortunately, Wolf team's not going to play, but they'll definitely reschedule that match eventually. Thanks for having me, DK. It was really fun.
Yep, it was definitely a lot of fun. Hopefully you all enjoyed the show. And in case we don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.